Hello, friend. I'm John Weber.
And I'm Mike Sauter, and we are here for Chartstoppers. It's a series where we're going to take a look at one-hit wonders from 1960 through 1999, explore all the great stories of the musicians and all the things connected to them.
Now, Mike, I do want to emphasize this because I don't know if a lot of people know what makes a hit. So in our definition of a one-hit wonder, when it becomes a hit, how do you know?
A song hit the top 40 of the pop chart, then it's a hit. And a one-hit wonder only has one of those, obviously.
If Casey Kasem said the name of this song and the name of this band and then played it for you, it was a hit.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to this video that Mike put together. Mike, this is such a great video.
Did the band Wall of Voodoo have membership in the One Hit Wonder Club thanks to their song, Mexican Radio? Well, let's see. Breaking it down by the key components of the phrase One Hit Wonder, Mexican Radio was indeed the one charting song by Wall of Voodoo, and is their best-known song by far. For many people, it's the only song they know from the band. But was it a hit song? Sorry, no. Neither Mexican Radio nor any other song by Wall of Voodoo was an actual hit. Let's back up a little bit. Wall of Voodoo was a band out of Los Angeles that emerged nationally in 1981 with the release of their debut album Dark Continent. The five-piece band caught the attention of college radio and punk and new wave fans with quirky, catchy songs like Back in Flesh and Call Box 123. Lead singer Stan Ridgway described the group as Metropolitan rodeo music, a neo-Neanderthal approach to form, and cited Ethel Merman as an unexpected influence. Music critics pointed to their rib-tickling, thought-scrambling songs in their reviews and suggested their music sounded like a soundtrack to artsy film school movies, which was appropriate since the band had its roots in a company formed by several members to compose music for movies, TV, and commercials on the cheap. By the way, when I was doing research for this, when I heard Stan Ridgway say that he is influenced by Ethel Merman, completely unexpected, but yet how understandable is that in retrospect?
The first time I watched this video just on my own, because you sent it to me, I was like, Ethel Merman. But the more time I've spent with that, I've gone, well, yeah, because Ethel Merman had, and I don't quote me on this, but like a 5-note vocal range. And Stan Ridgway has the same. He can sing, but he can't sing a lot of notes.
But when you hear him sing things like, I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana, like you can hear that as if it was sung by Ethel. But it was their sophomore album, Call of the West, that took the band to the next level. That's the one which featured Mexican Radio, a track with more commercial potential than much of the band's previous material. In November of 1982, the music video for Mexican Radio was added into rotation on MTV. The song was inspired by high-powered radio stations located over the border into Mexico that blast music and talk into the U.S. Southwest. Mexican Radio is a swirl of spaghetti western guitar, catchy keyboard riffs, spectral voices, and cowboy percussion like clip-clops and the rattlesnake-evoking vibra-slap. By January 1983, Mexican Radio is getting strong airplay on the video channel, and the band even performed the song on the TV series American Bandstand. Mexican Radio is getting enough exposure by late winter, early spring of 1983 that some music writers began to refer to it as Wall of Voodoo's hit single. And over the years, Wall of Voodoo have been repeatedly called one-hit wonders or included on lists of one-hit wonders from the 1980s. By the way, there is a common belief that the 1980s were a golden age for one-hit wonders. One website, for example, suggests that 1983 was ground zero for one-hit wonders. But actually, here is a chart of one-hit wonders by year from 1960 through 1999, and 1983 was on the lower end for producing one-hit wonders. In fact, contrary to popular belief, if you compare the 1960s, 1970s, the 80s, and the 90s, the 1980s had the least one-hit wonders of those decades. The 1960s were the true pinnacle for artists with only a single top 40 hit to their credit.
also have to say, this is a great example. I think you've pinpointed a subject that the internet does not handle well. And that is a lot of people will make claims about things like the 80s had more one-hit wonders than any other decade. And it sounds right, but when one actually does the research, it's like, no, of course it was the 1960s when like every TV actor had an album. Someone who was in the news would get an album.
And it was easy and possible and frequent that small independent labels would release a single that would just catch fire. And you would have a song go to the, even to the top of the pop charts, but there was no follow-up. There was no a career behind it that was going to follow because of that. He had some of that because of the emergence of MTV in the early 1980s, and I think that's what people remember. But the other thing is that there are a lot of what people call one-hit wonders that had more than one hit. They just
Right.
don't remember the follow-up single that was also a top 40 hit, or the song that came out a couple of years later from that artist, or, a particular artist. So, I think there's a lot of, I don't want to say selective memory, but just misremembering what actually happened.
Yeah, I will admit to that. There are a lot of bands where I said, "Oh yeah, they were a one-hit wonder." And I'm absolutely wrong about that. So, honestly, it's a great reason to have this show.
We will have future installments exploring exactly some of those artists.
Stick with us, folks.
Okay, back to Mexican radio. The question is, was it really a hit? Let's head over to the chart gridiron to see how the song fared. Mexican radio first made an appearance on the pop chart March 19th, 1983, and then Mexican radio peaked at number 58. The song did not make it to the top 40, so it can't truly be called a hit. Sure, it's Wall of Voodoo's signature song and a terrific one, but that still doesn't make it a hit. A hit song has to make it to the top 40 of the pop chart. So there you have it. Wall of Voodoo with their song Mexican Radio was not a one-hit wonder. They do not have keys to that clubhouse like other guitar-driven new wave era bands like The Vapors, Talk Talk, Icicle Works, or Romeo Void. However, even though Wall of Voodoo doesn't meet the criteria, one member of the band inspired an actual one-hit wonder. This is Mark Moreland, the guitarist for Wall of Voodoo. In the late 1980s, the opening act on a Wall of Voodoo tour was the Los Angeles band Concrete Blonde. While on the road, Moreland connected strongly with Jonette Napolitano, the lead singer and bassist of Concrete Blonde. While the two bands were touring together, the pair hit it off right away. Moreland, however, had substance abuse issues. They made for a troubled couple. Napolitano used Moreland as inspiration for her song Joey, about a romance brimming with fears and regret over an alcoholic partner. Joey was released as a single in May of 1990. It entered the pop chart in mid-August, and on November 10, 1990, peaked at number 19. Concrete Blonde became a one-hit wonder, achieving a feat that Wall of Voodoo was not able to accomplish.
That is just so great, Mike. Man, when you told me you were writing this, I was so thrilled because I love Wall of Voodoo. But to pick out, it feels triumphant that at least there was a one-hit wonder based on one of the guys in Wall of Voodoo.
Definitely cool. Well, we are, as promised, we are going to be exploring many more stories associated with one-hit wonders, focusing on the wild years from 1960 to 1999. If that's something that is your jam, definitely like this video to help other people find it, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of our videos.
I should have put that. There it goes. Hey, thanks for watching this video so much. John and Mike, your chart stoppers. We're going to be here around for you. I hope you want to watch our stuff.
Ciao.